Hi everyone, Tito with BDS here, Business Data Services, bringing you another video. Today I wanted to talk about back to school. So here in the Kansas City area, we've been back to school for about a month and a half now. And, during that first few weeks of school, teachers do a lot of refreshers, reviews of what was learned previously. This is to go over what things the students might have forgotten during that summer break period. So now that they're back in school, trying to get back into the swing and routine of things, this refresher gives them a chance to remember, but also get into a routine. Actually, same things go for the office workers, the workforce here today, working on computers and laptops. When it comes to cybersecurity, those workers get busy day to day, so they can forget, just like students forget what they learned in the previous school year over that summer break. So if you're not doing cybersecurity training on a regular basis, and by regular, I'm saying more often than annual, your staff and team, they're all going to forget over that time period. Actually, we recommend doing it on a monthly basis. That might not be feasible for every company. I want to cover four topics that you can cover with your staff on cybersecurity. The reason why I'm doing this is 95% of cyber attacks happen from human error. And from that 95%, 91% come from a phishing link. And the scariest statistic is 1 in 5 people click on a phishing link. So if you're a company of 25 people, you're thinking of that handful already. And most people already know the usual suspects. So that said, let's get into it. Here are the four topics to cover with your staff to make sure your data and company stay secure. Number one, responsibility for company data. Now, some people might jump over this, but really you need to reiterate how important it is to keep company data safe and who really is responsible. Well, really, in terms of cybersecurity, everybody who works for the company is responsible for your company data. And even more so if you're touching client data or customer data. And if you're healthcare and touching the healthcare patient's data, hopefully it goes without saying that it is very important to keep that data covered and secure. And that said, you might want to cover why and what type of consequences might happen. So if a data breach does happen, there's lawsuits and even legal action from city, state, or federal government, depending on how bad the data breach is. You could suffer brand damage, loss of sales. The damages are incalculable at this point. If you want to calculate the hard cost, well, you still have to pay for lease. You still have to pay for water and electric if that's in the lease agreement. You still have to pay for salary. You still have to pay for benefits. Those are all the hard costs that can come out from a data breach. And you need to make sure that everybody knows that each person is responsible for that. The second topic that you want to cover with your staff is internet usage. Now, your company might be better off and you have a content filter through the firewall or something on your computers or laptops, but really not every company has this, especially small businesses. I don't see many small businesses have a content filter. What happens there is it's pretty much an open gateway, open door to all of the internet. Not every single website on the internet is safe. So what you really need to do is make sure that the staff, everybody on your team knows that they need to make sure they don't visit any strange websites. No gambling, no pornography, no weird, exotic animal websites. Avoid all of those. Better yet, avoid any shopping or banking, especially on the personal side, on a business computer. You need to teach them the right computer use etiquette and also have them sign an acceptable use policy so that they know what they can or can't do with company property. The third topic here that you want to cover with all your staff is email. Email is an essential tool for the everyday worker, the modern worker today. Um, so email is a great communication tool. Everybody has to use it these days. You can't go without it really now. You need to go over what is safe to open and what's not safe to open. What's safe to open is people you know and work with on a daily basis. However, there's some smart hackers out there that use something called CEO phishing. And what they do is they impersonate the CEO or some leadership position in the organization. And how they go about this is really simple. The internet is out there. You can find a lot of information on companies these days. So what they do is they impersonate the CEO or CFO and say, "Hey, Johnny, I need this wired to this bank account ASAP." And usually that will come in right before the cutoff of the wiring. And they make it sound super urgent, but really in those situations, you need to train your employees to pick up the phone and call the person and say, "Hey, do you really need this wired right now? Because the email sounded fishy." So you need to call and verify those types of things. And there's many other things that you can do to prevent those type of CEO frauds and wiring frauds. And you also want to cover what emails are safe, email domains and hovering over the emails and making sure that's legitimate, those types of things. Teach the employees those types of skills so that they can protect you and protect the company data. So last one here, protecting the computers. So their computers, hopefully they have antivirus on them and it's staying up to date. Really, this is something your IT should be taking care of and updating on a daily basis. And a lot of small businesses might not have somebody dedicated to IT. It might be the office admin or the controller. Somebody might be responsible for it, but they need to make sure that it stays installed on all computers. And this is not something that you should assume that it's installed, but actually verify that is installed. And you also want to cover with employees how to handle their data on their computer. If you have a centralized file server, put the files there so that they make sure those files are backed up and secure. But also, if you have a SharePoint, put it there as well. But really, if you don't have any of those, you want to make sure each and every single computer, all desktops, all laptops are backed up in some fashion. And I'm not talking about a flash drive where you manually copy the data over because people get busy and forget to do it or whatever reason. You want to have a program that automatically backs up the data whenever there is a change that happens. So that said, I hope these topics were useful for you, good soup starters. But if you want more detailed information, definitely visit our website. I have the blog in the link below in our description. But visit our blog there so that you can have more detailed information so that you can make sure your staff and you stay protected. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.